Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm really excited for this video today because I can finally show off the NYXI wireless joypad with RGB lights, also known as the YS37. Pretty much if the Nintendo Joy-Con and a Hori SplitPad Pro had a love child, it would be this controller. So everything that the SplitPad Pro offers, mappable back buttons, turbo, and an ergonomic design, but with the connectivity and features of Nintendo Joy-Cons, so using it wirelessly with a grip or even attached to the Switch console and vibration. So it's the best of both worlds, but to top it off, they threw in some built-in RGB LED lights around both analog sticks, so this is a feature-packed controller. First off, this was sent to me for a review, but I did review and test these with a skeptical mindset because sometimes it may be too good to be true, especially from lesser-known brands out there. Fortunately, after unboxing this and testing it out for a couple of weeks, before I even get to the end of the video, I'll say that these are the best Joy-Con alternatives out there, and hopefully this video will enlighten some of you out there doing your research on these sort of alternatives. Anyway, moving on, the first thing we see out of the box is their version of the Joy-Con grip. It's pretty much a rectangle with attachments on the side, so you can just clip on the joypad to the left and to the right. So the ergonomics are handled through the controller or the joypad itself. So this is just a little add-on for those who don't want to play with their joypad split in wireless mode and they just want more of that controller feel. So let's hope this is actually a USB-C. Yes. Okay, so micro USB is really outdated nowadays. I'm just glad they threw in a USB-C cable. All right, let's get price out of the way as well too. These retail for $69.99, but as of the upload date of this video, they're $46.99. So the company was also nice enough to throw in a little promo code of $5 off by using WOW5USD. So keep that in mind if you're interested or researching this specific controller. The last thing out of the box is a welcome guide, and geez, it's some fine print and a lot of little instructions, but it's really helpful, very thorough, but really helpful. But I will go through all these little features throughout the whole entire video. So if you want to learn how to use these little joypads, such as mapping the back buttons, the turbo functions, how to adjust the vibration, and cycling through the RGB lights, I'll be going over all those features as soon as we take a closer look at these controllers. The video is sped up for time's sake, and these feel a lot like Hori split pads, and there's actually juice in there. You can see that the RGB light is currently green, and we'll go through how to change those colors in a little bit. But there's the ZL and L buttons. We saw the face buttons. It has a nice traditional D-pad. The capture button and minus button are on the front as well too, and these buttons on the back are very important. There's an M button for mapping, T button for turbo, and that T button does a lot of the other features as well too. There's also a little reset nook right there if you want to reset the whole entire controller. Here's the right joypad. All of the familiar buttons on the Nintendo Switch itself are right there. Analog stick is located down below. There's juice in this one as well too, and as you can see, the front of the controller is more smooth. Here's the R and ZR button, and then the side and the back have a little bit of a texture, so it helps with the grip, and the whole bottom bump area where you actually hold onto the controller, it's actually much thicker than the Hori SplitPad Pro, and it feels way nicer in my hands. I almost forgot to mention the last button on the back is the programmable back button, and both controllers have one. So here are Joy-Cons, and then let me get these Hori SplitPad Pros. I kind of borrowed Sugarberry Smash's Pikachu and Eevee ones because my Daemon X Machina ones are somewhere in my room, can't find, but they are very similar in size, the SplitPad Pros and these Joypads. But there's one big difference in the grip already. I enjoy the Joypad's little angle towards the ZL or ZR and R button. It's more reminiscent to an Xbox controller where the angle is a little bit more steep, and it just fits the bend and groove of my index finger just a little bit better than the SplitPad Pro. And the overall grip, like towards the bottom where my palm is, it feels much more smooth and more rounded on the joypads, and I like that feel a little bit better. And you can see from the side profile compared to all of the controllers, the joypads are the thickest, and I like that thicker feel better. Anyway, here they are in split mode, and yes, you can use these just like Joy-Cons wirelessly from the Switch, unlike the Hori split pads where they must always be attached. For those who want more of a controller feel, I mentioned the little rectangle piece they added, and uh-oh, I see a no-no. They have separate charging ports, so if I have to knock this on anything, it's that. And the grip itself doesn't have a charging port, so these have to be charged individually. But maybe throw in a second USB-C cable to help us out, or add one to the grip where it can charge both joypads at the same time. VJ from the future here, and I actually discovered that you can charge it through the dock. So silly old me griping about that little previous gripe. So if you want to charge both at the same time, just dock it like any other Nintendo Switch Joy-Con connected to a Nintendo Switch. Okay, back to the video. So taking a closer look at the joypads, they do have the same functions as the Joy-Cons, as you can see right here. These have indicator lights as well as the sync button. So if you want to sync this up to a Nintendo Switch without attaching them, that's possible to do as well too. But moving on, let's finally attach this to a Nintendo Switch and see if they sync up right away. Video sped up over here as well too. But as you can see, it says paired. You can hear the little chime as well too. And there's the Nintendo Switch click, and there it is paired. The lights are on and the joypads are functional. So let's go through these RGB lights and see the little color changes and see what they all look like. They're really easy to change. All you have to do is hold down the T button and then press in the analog stick. So it'll be the right analog stick for the right side and the left analog stick for the left side. So blue looks really clean. Let's do it again. It goes to a darker shade of blue followed by lavender, and then the rainbow color, which is probably the one I'm going to set it to forever. Red, orange, let's go again, yellow, back to green. So there's a whole cycle. Let me just set it up to the rainbow color and get the left side set up as well too. We'll just speed this up because we already know the process. Hold the T button down and then press the right or left analog stick in, and that's how you change the colors. So far, all of the buttons work, and to kind of thoroughly test more of the buttons, let's just open the game that I have installed already, or the game card for, and it's Animal Crossing. I would change it to Splatoon, but I'm too lazy to grab a new game card. But we'll just see if the button mapping on the back works, as well as the turbo buttons. And I know this takes forever, so I kind of just cropped and edited all these parts. Just checked out if the capture button worked, and it worked, and the home button worked as well too. And for those wondering, it does have the same release button as the Joy-Cons and Hori Split Pad Pros. But dang, these look so clean. All right, let's start mapping the back buttons. So B in Animal Crossing is to run or sprint. And to map the back buttons or the back paddle, it's really easy. All you have to do is press the button on the back that says M, and then whichever button you want to map at the same time. So in this case, it will be M plus the B button on the front. And unfortunately, just like the Split Pad Pro, you can only map the buttons that are on the right joypad to the right back button and the left joypad to the left back button. So that's unfortunate, but better than nothing. Anyway, so the button is functional, holding it in a weird way just to show that off. And just to show that it works, let me map another button to the back button, and this time I'll just pull up the little emotions wheel or the emoji wheel on Animal Crossing, and in this case it's the ZR button. So I'm just pressing the button on the back now. You can see a little wheel pop up on the game. Sorry for the blurriness and the colors kind of washing out. My camera's kind of being weird at the moment, but here's the left side, and I set up the tool wheel for that one, so it's up on the D-pad. So that one's all set up, or actually let me set it up right now and let me press it. There we go. We can see that it's working. The tool wheel's popping up and everything's good. So same thing works, attached, detached, and a grip, whatever it may be. There's 3 ways you can use these controllers. Moving on, the turbo function is up next. It's really easy. All you have to do is hold down the T button and then assign which button you want to set as turbo. If you do it one time, you can hold down the button after that and it will continuously press, so you don't have to keep tapping over and over again. But if you do it 2 times, that's how you get into auto mode and you can just let go of the controller. So in Animal Crossing, if you're hitting rocks or if you're crafting something and you're crafting a hot item and you want to make like 1,000 of those things, this is probably the easiest way to do it, is with a turbo button. Then also in shooters, if you want to be one of those dirty cheaters and make some sort of semi-automatic weapon or some sort of tactical rifle into a full auto, this is how you do it as well too. I highly condone those actions, but you didn't hear that from me. And this is how you adjust the vibration. So all you have to do is hold down the T button again, and then this time move the analog stick up and down to increase or decrease the intensity of vibration. Really easy. So I had to be quiet for a second there so that y'all can hear the vibration intensity, and that pretty much covers this whole entire controller. I mentioned at the beginning that this is the love child of a Hori Split Pad Pro and Nintendo Switch Joy-Cons, and I had my skepticism at first, but after trying these out for the past 2 weeks, these are definitely my new favorite Nintendo Switch controllers / Joy-Cons. They feel great in the hand, a ton of features, mappable back buttons, turbo, RGB lights. That's an awesome touch right there. just alone, I'll probably get some sort of controller just for that. Anyway, this controller is just full of features. For those interested, I've left the link down below in the video's description so that you all can check these out on NYXI's website. They did send over a promo code for my viewers, and that's WOW 5 USD, WOW 5 USD for $5 off. So I highly recommend these, and they are definitely the best Joy-Con alternatives out there, or at least out of the bunch that I've tried. But if you enjoyed this video, make sure to check these others out. They might interest you in some way. And if you really liked hanging out with me today, please consider subscribing to be the first to know when I upload something new or go live on a stream. And if you all want to support the channel just a bit more, click that join button down below to learn more about my channel memberships. I'll see you all soon. Please stay safe out there. Bye.